This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course, go to the Weird Renegade website. However, I am not .com anymore. I am .org. So I am waywardrenegadewitchesblog.org. Put it in your search engine. And of course, look at the website, see the frequencies. I don't put too much there in reference to emails and so on. If you want to email me something, make sure that you text me and I'm going to investigate some frequencies here. However, of course, the phone number to text me in reference to services is 415-855-3330. Of course, if you want to send me some frequencies and what's ever going on in the universe, hit me up in reference to that. But you already know that Wayward is about that motherfucking spell work, and Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, and more. But as I always say, art is occultism. Occultism is a motherfucking art. And of course, you will see on my website, I put Godspell because I'm under Godspell, not under the gospel, but Godspell. So just in case you guys be like, this bitch is on an IEP meeting, I knew what I was writing. Okay, that's the fucking what's up. However, one-on-one lessons are in effect. One-on-one monthly lessons are in effect. So understand that one-on-one monthly lessons are separate from me working closely with individuals that I work with them every day, monthly, shit, once a week, shit, at the hour, going advocating and more. And you already again know that I'm about that motherfucking spell work because we know the world is very chaotic. And you know I've been talking about that occult thugging that's been going on in the universe. So we kind of have to see the frequencies, right? However, I'm just watching the universe because we're at the end of the Jubilee. And since we've been at the end of the Jubilee, there's been hella shit going on. Then there's been things not going on. And so in my universal soul, in the spirit of it, is that there's a portal that opened, and it opened maybe about a week or so ago, right? That it shook the earth, and then something else opened up. Okay? They keep having you focus what's up, but they're not having you focus on what's down, what's happening, what's landing. Did y'all feel that earthquake that it was in the portal? Did y'all feel that? Okay. Anyway, let's talk about some of this universal soul and these frequencies and the looping and the quantum leaping and the stargating and the time warping, right? I've been on that social media and I've been kind of watching the universe, and I'm realizing social media is demonic like fuck. I told you, cyber magic. They're giving us shit that happened in the past, making it look like it's happening in the present, but it had already happened. It's like, for example, like, have you guys seen in the media how they also playing air and fire magic and word games? So they said DJ Quick was arrested for murder. And I'm like, oh shit. No. Then when you listen to it even further, DJ Quick's son was arrested for murder. And the way they presented it was like that shit just happened. Then you see in another energy, DJ Quick's son was DJ Quick's son was found guilty. But wait a minute, just the day before, you said his son was arrested, and you made like he was the one arrested, not identifying it was his son. Now you want to come back and say he's guilty? Then they dropping on us that DJ Quick's daughter did some kind of child abuse or whatever went on with that. So I said, this is old shit that they've kept quiet and suppressed, and then now they're rolling it out. So we're all in confusion because they keep quantum leaping us and trying to push us back in the past, but it's things happening in the present and going forward, but they keep trying to manipulate our brains to restructure our brains to go in the past. And I've talked about this, and I've talked about the years that some of you guys may have to investigate, like right now, and I told you this, we are in 2016. Then it's opening up not only 2016, now we're in 2018 and 2019. They done skipped over 2017. So we're being pulled backwards to old shit, old news, old frequencies. In addition, during the pandemic, they buried a lot of information that now is uprooting. Even when you look at some of the information and you look at kind of the information of it, meaning the kind of the video, it looks older. So we have to be careful what's going on in this Jubilee, because they are restructuring and reprogramming our brains to be in the past and to be buried. And when they do that, then they can enslave you more and keep feeding you bullshit. Like, what the fuck is going on with Facebook giving out incorrect information? Like, literally somebody is getting on Facebook, or these people causing confusion. Over here, they telling you motherfuckers are dead, Michael J. Fox and Dionne Warwick and all these motherfuckers. But then in this media, they don't tell you shit. We don't even know the real media anymore, because they're giving us this other shit. Then I'm like, are they dead? I'm confused. You can't tell an AI from a real story now. They could recreate history through AI and tell you something happened back in the past, and that shit isn't true, to restructure a culture and foundation, and to restructure your brain, and to rewire it. And they doing this through your optical movement. It's optical. But the shit is not real, right? And I really started to peep this shit when they went back. Have you guys been seeing, like in social media, especially on the TikTok run, how they've been on this whole adventure of Kenneka Jenkins, and they have uprooted the story, and now all of a sudden, now there's a new twist to it where Trayvon Martin's father is connected to Kenneka Jenkins' mother, which we all knew they were Masonic. They're under the Prince Hall effect. Okay? So then, now they're saying there's two Kenneka Jenkins. It's like they're saying, okay, this story is not real. Is this, is that, is this, is that. So I said, damn, you're getting these new forms of Gen Zs now coming in, reinvestigating a story that already happened back in 2018, 2019. Right? Or was it 26, whenever that happened. So we have passed that story. Motherfuckers died. Motherfuckers was advocating. Motherfuckers were in gangs. It was just a whole energy, and they're going back to revisit it. So it made me go back and relook at her dead pics and look at them further. Because we all know it was some bullshit, right? But are we really looking at the hotel or the motel? Are we looking at that most likely that motel was a trafficking spot where young ladies were being trafficked and murdered and killed, and they was putting them in a freezer maybe? Hiding bodies? Because now we're finding out a lot of these Indians and Hindus and whoever be owning these motels and shit, and a lot of shit was going on and still going on. But we didn't peep it then. because the story was so much like an excitement, and we realized that Kenneka's mother not only had a son that died, but a daughter, and it only left with one. Matter of fact, are these kids even hers? Then there's the whole truck driving energy, because remember, Kenneka Jenkins' mother's boyfriend was a truck driver, and he was underneath her ass, like he wouldn't let her talk or nothing. And remember all of that energies, and women were dating truck drivers. You had some witchy poos out there who stole somebody's husband and then married the man, and he was a truck driver. And you know the witchy world is all up in that shit. And they all know each other. But I was very interested of, why are they uprooting this energy again? So it makes me believe, was this story fake? There's some other shit behind it. That's what caused me to go back and look at those eerie ass pictures. And don't get it fucked up. I was on some dark shit back then. I took her pic and made a t-shirt out of it, and somebody got mad at my ass, but I don't give a fuck, because I'll do the shit again. People got all sensitive. But when I look at that shit now, I'm like, there's something off about these pigs. This girl is not frozen. Whatever this is. What the fuck is going on? And why are these Gen Zs bringing this old shit back up? They even brought up ancestral witch. It was a Gen Z on there trying to explain her death and all this shit. You didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, because I remember when we were under Witch Patrol, myself and what's the name was basically reporting on this shit. Niggas was mad at us. White people were mad at us. Michigan was mad at us. I used to do business with this candle lady. She blocked my black ass because that was her friend. We finding out ancestral white witch was fucking under Paulo, them damn Latinos who I don't even know if they still on fucking YouTube. Because remember, there was a whole Paulo fever going on then. And allegedly she had some candle burning during the night. And the damn, what is it? Somebody turned on the damn stove. What's it? The gas seeped through the house and it exploded. But just so happened her older daughter wasn't there with that best friend of the family. And then all of a sudden, when they were going to have that funeral, that best friend of that ancestral witch and her husband, because they were supposed to be weightlifters. And I said doing that Paulo shit looked like she got sacrificed. And now they bringing her back up. You telling me there's no connections to shit? They went ass backwards in time to find ancestral witch? She been reported on. We already know that was a sacrifice. Then when iHeartRadio did some kind of fundraising or something in reference to her and her husband. Why are we going backwards in time? We don't even know the full story of shit. In a minute, they're going to bring up that white girl that was a witch and that high speed chase or whatever went on with her, and she crashed into the wall. And then they were talking about she was on meth in Southern California. That was around that time too, when certain, as they call YouTube witches, were ending up dead, white girls. They're probably going to bring back that other witchy poo shit with the black girl that in Southern California, who lived over there near Hollywood or Beverly Hills or whatever, got into it. What did she do? Did she kill her boyfriend or her child or something? I don't remember. And then threw her child on a highway? Something weird. That was weird. All they doing is bringing back old energies, right? That's because they're trying to structure us to go back in time, which they can enslave our brains. Then I'm roaming around social media and everybody talking about the same fucking shit. Like literally, you could click on something, you listening to a story, you flip the page up, they're talking about it, 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 everybody talking about it. Now you got white people talking about conspiracy theories. This is the man, that's the man, that's not a man, this man, this is a Vanity Fair. Look at this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but nobody talking about Christmas? I want to know. I want to see some decorations. I want you to talk about Papa Noel. I want to talk about Krampus. I want to hear conspiracy theories about Santa Claus connected to Machiavelli. I want to see decorations and pretty tables. I want to see Christmas food. I want to see what shoppers are doing. No, they don't have that anymore because they killed it. We haven't been in the holiday spirit for years, and this year has put it into the holidays. There is no holidays. There isn't any. Thanksgiving put the cork in it. When they fucked around with that whole food stamp shit, fucking around with people aid and all of that, I knew, I said, the Jubilee. They out here talking about there's not going to be any eggs. There's an egg shortage. There's some contamination with eggs. And how am I going to make some sweet potato pies and 7-Up cake for Christmas? The crabs were fucked up. The Dungeness crabs are fucked up. Eggs are fucked up. Everything is fucked up. You got these new type of neo-blacks that have excuses for everything and don't understand culture and wealth and creating an energy for themselves, but they will sit on social media with a fucking dot on their head. Don't even have an understanding. Talk about that they have been spiritually cleansed through SZA being in Los Angeles at some kind of crystal shop. Y'all niggas still fucking with crystals? That's what I've been trying. I've been knowing. I'm like, hey, on social media, there is nothing talking about Christmas. They not even talking about Jesus. They not even out here saying Jesus not real. It's no argument. There's nothing. That's why my ass been sitting it out. I've just been watching. Right? Your holiday is for you to celebrate Trump. That's shady as fuck, isn't it? They've literally created a holiday around him. They have been talking about all of this mess, and it don't mean nothing. They go from one thing to another. They never focus on one thing. So the media and the world is ADHD. Not only is the world ADHD, but it have you going backwards in it. They have created a third world mentality. If a Muslim don't celebrate Christmas, cool. If a Hindu don't celebrate Christmas, double cool. If these motherfuckers out here are in their feelings because they don't get along with their family and friends or whoever over things, get triple cool. There was a time we didn't give a fuck because there was an energy, there was a focus, there was a function. Now things are just dead. Black people, you're dead. You don't exist. You are considered a person of color. White people have taken you over. White people are the new blacks. They have taken your culture and monopolized, and now we're watching them around the table praying and then doing hallelujah. We are watching them and their people at the piano singing gospel, out singing your black ass. White people then literally took your culture and made it theirs. They are the new blacks. You've been replaced. You don't even exist. You're not even black. They're black. White people are arguing among themselves. I'm not a Caucasoid. I'm not a Caucasian. I'm Slavic. I'm not a white person. When the fuck I'm not a European. Don't call me that. Just like we used to argue among ourselves. Don't call yourself black. Don't call yourself this. You used to see black families around the Christmas table and all this shit. No, you're seeing them. They are on social media taking their family dynamics, replaced us in it, and now it's theirs. They out here making white gumbo. I am so sick and tired of social media acting like black people did not exist making gumbo. All I'm seeing are white people make gumbo and soul food. Cornbread, all this shit. Red beans and rice, all that. While you niggas were out here talking about you vegans and all that bullshit, they over here they monopolized on soul food. It's a whole gumbo movement going on here. They need to stick with their French gumbo. They out here talking about, we making this, we doing that. They out here making pound cakes and all. Somebody was telling me, a spiritual constituent, saying that black people are out here using a white person's macaroni and cheese recipe. While you guys are rolling out here talking about dots, this and that, and all this other culture. What the fuck you talking about? I don't celebrate that. It's this, it's that. Well, you're not black anymore. The white people are black. I've been watching the whole thing. I said, I know I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. I'm seeing what the fuck I'm seeing. And white people have always had that type of frequency with them that they can do it better. It's been proven all through their frequency. Everywhere we're at, they're going to be. I was telling my spiritual constituents when I was out doing work, I couldn't mind my business. For 2 days in a row, when I'm out doing work, here's the white people. This is what they were doing. Well, what is that? What you doing? You know who else is nosy as fuck? Indians. When I was up in that damn store shopping with my groceries, especially for Thanksgiving, the Indians will come by my cart and do this. What the fuck you being nosy for? Everybody always want to know what the fuck we do. If I'm at the check stand and the Indians in front of me, they're turning around looking at me and looking at what? But you don't even appreciate your fucking self under the fucking Jubilee, do you? You don't even see the distraction, the obstruction, and the nonsense. I don't even see how people really looking at social media is so fucking fake. I don't see how you didn't even catch that white people have replaced us. At first, I thought it was the Indians and the Asians. You know me, I go on a tangent. I go on a rant. And I said to myself, that's a cold game and a cold piece of spell work. These motherfuckers done sat up, these white folks, and have implanted themselves at us. They are pretending to be blacks. And the energies have shifted. And they're playing the white card so they could get scholarships and resources. That's why they play in our faces between being native and indigenous. That's why on college applications, they have everything else but indigenous. Because under native, they put indigenous, but no. We are indigenous. We're not native. Keep fucking around with white people and not peeping how they on the come up on your ass. Keep playing with them in them fucking king cakes and them Ukrainians making king cakes, making your shit. Keep fucking around with them white people, including the honorary white people, which are the Asians, making perlines and shit. Keep fucking around with these honorary white people making gumbo with jollof rice and fucking hot sauce. I mean, with their chili sauce and all that weird shit. Keep fucking around. Keep fucking around with white gumbos and all of this shit and how they moving in the system now. They're using your own tactics. They have built, the white people have built a new culture for themselves. It's yours. They laugh at you. They say, oh, you mean those Hotep people? Talk about the conscious community. You mean them Hoteps? The Hotopias? You know the niggas that be arguing among themselves, gay as fuck, talking bullshit, pushed in a new agenda that helped the Muslims and the Islamics and the Hindus to bury black women. You them motherfuckers. Yeah, them. The ones that we all got caught up in. And now we're realizing, especially as women, we want out. Them niggas still on social media arguing among themselves. My spiritual constituents be telling me about this shit. Well, you know, over here, this he arguing here, and this person arguing over here. They arguing with each other. They're calling out each other. Why are we up in that business, though? We over here was pressed on young Pharaoh, but not understanding he was being fed information. This nigga still around talking. He out of jail now. This nigga out here talking about that they took 1.8 mil from him. He said he in so many words, he'll give a fuck about you niggas. He said he gonna do a podcast with strippers. He said, fuck you hoes. As he looking like a gay porn star. And he talking about, yeah, because I was the one who put this out, put that out. No, you were a plant. And they fed all you niggas the information. Once he mentioned Costa Rica, we already know he all up in that shit. All them conscious, all that prison life, that prison talk. Under the Jubilee, we got these conscious niggas out here being neo-homos, neo-blacks, neo-homos that helped the trans and all that energy come in on us and killed the black culture. We don't talk about that. Aren't y'all tired of this? When I seen that NLE chopper, I said, I knew once they connected him with that fucking T.S. Madison, it was downhill. Is that his name? NLE? NLE chopper? What the fuck is going on here? It's like young black brothers don't have a chance. That's why these YNs are out here on the low be gay as fuck. They act like these eggers. Because you know the Mexican eggers be gay. Now you got YNs sneaking having sex with trans men. Sneaking men up in their mamas and grandmamas' houses. And I'm not talking about these grown niggas out here talking about they YNs. I'm talking about the YNs. Under the Jubilee. This is the black culture. People out here tripping because allegedly in North Carolina, they have a book called Santa, whatever, some kind of Santa book. That the Santa is a black man and his husband, Santa's husband, and is a white man. And you know the infatuation and subculture with white men and black men. Now you have black men facilitating white men hiring surrogates to have babies for their asses. See, that's the underground market that y'all not peeping. Not saying it haven't been going on, but it's being pushed. No, maybe we need to finally say, if you choose to have that fucking lifestyle, maybe you shouldn't be having children. Because that's a single lifestyle. I'm sorry, I am under the Godspell. I'm under a religion. I'm not under the gospel. I'm under Godspell. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say. It's not hate. It's truth. If two women getting together talking about they want to have children, then why in the fuck did y'all get together? If two men get together, and then now you talking about you want to have children, then why in the fuck did you get together? You chose a single life. That's a single lifestyle. Not being rude, not being disrespectful, but maybe you have to restructure your brain of what you got into. Godspell. Because me personally, I'm not going to walk out the Jubilee not saying what I'm going to say. Y'all scared. When I go back to the whole Christmas, Christ's mass. They got it all flipped because it's philosophical. Christmas is not about Jesus. Christmas is about the creation and the new creation of this earth by the Lord, by woman. That let us know the moon was the actual light. And when you look in the skies at the stars, you're looking at woman. So when we talk the major shit, that was not the Christ in the spring. This was a different birth. And if you fuck around, they're now wording Joseph as a foster father. The fuck? So basically, Mary is a foster mother / surrogate. How about none of that is true? How about the wise men is nothing but midwives and doulas? That's the real truth of it. Astrologers and experts. The fuck? No. You're creating the universe. The Lord created the universe. And the Spirit created an energy. Because we are supposed to understand the planets that the Spirit created for us. But we don't follow it properly because we're too busy listening to man and also listening to apps. And our star is for us. It's not for everybody. That Eastern star, which is woman, Eastern star is east. And then the star following the star was for them. It was woman, feminine. We suppose when Christmas really comes, we're supposed to be celebrating woman. And the creation. And the life. That's why you see stars with ornaments. That's woman. That's us. We are the stars. Stars are also connected to fallopian tubes, to the eggs and all of this, and birth. And we let a man come in and take our Christmas from us. We have to understand these are two separate entities. Holy Spirit, we are the body. Christ, we are the body. But the real Christ, we understand that's a different birth. That's the sun, S-U-N. The bright sun, the fire. It's above y'all pay grade under these teachings. Because you guys are under the gospel. The fuck this bitch talk about? That's not what that... I'm under the Jubilee. As I'm under this Jubilee, I started to look at the world and the bullshit and the poverty and the energies underneath it. We're fucked. And we're fucked because we didn't realize that rich people are not rich. They're not honestly rich. We're out here looking at all these people like, I want to be like them. I want to be this. I want to be that. Them niggas are illegal. And then have the audacity to give rules. I had no clue how much poverty is a sin. Because people don't trust you if you're impoverished. More and more as I'm hearing the principalities, they're saying if you're under poverty, you'll accept anything. You can't be trusted. But we can enslave you. We can make you believe that you'll be something. But then them same people are shady. More and more, have you guys been watching how everybody's getting busted? All these rich ass people and principalities. Have you been noticing the restructure even with the Asian gangs and all of this shit and all of them getting busted? Did you hear about the Asian, what they call it, the Queen Pen from Indonesia? And she was allegedly pushing hella meth and dope. I was wondering why I was seeing all of them Asian gangs up in jail. Mexico, the Mexican cartel then fled Mexico and went to Africa and other places and set up shop. They're trying to play in our face and tell us that Asia was giving guns to Mexico. Bullshit. All the motherfuckers are in it together. We out here really thought Oprah was rich. That bitch wasn't rich. She have accounts that she can't even touch. Don't even know that is there. It's just in her name. Then it made me kind of go simple and go back into Genesis and think about Sarah, Abraham, and Hagar. All of them were fucked up. All of them were doing witchcraft. And all of them were fucking biracials. Sarah was doing witchcraft to get pregnant, just like Hannah was doing work for Samuel, so she get pregnant with Samuel, the demon god. No, we're going to say the devil. For giggles and laughs, because we understand that the devil didn't appear until around the 1500s. Before the devil, they used to call it the Machiavelli, right? The devil wasn't called the devil. The name of the devil is new. What the fuck she talking about? She's not an expert. Because according to White from Kenneka and the dictionaries in our studies, this bitch don't know shit. She got to prove it. They proved a whole lot to you and it's still fake. Zionist Jews in Hebrew. Sarah and Abraham were not Hebrews. They were Jews. But we're going to fuck with them for giggles and laughs, right? So Sarah did witchcraft to get Isaac, but told Abraham with his whole thieving ass to go have sex with Hagar, which is the flesh. Hagar is already pissed because she's an enslaved Egyptian who was forced to be a fucking Muslim. That's what they're doing now, right? Trying to force us to be Muslims. As around the world, Dominican Republic and all these places, fucking mosques are fucking being built and in place. And then allegedly in Dominican Republic and other Caribbean places, they're out there arresting people for doing spell work and voodoo. That's a cold game, a cold piece of spell work, isn't it? That tells me that them damn Middle Easterns are really investing their money, and they have always ran America. Ishmaels, the Ishmaelites, the fleshly children, the children of the demons. Not the devil, I said the demons. That's blanketing the universe and reclaiming your land, as we call it, you believe, and conquering. We always talk about the story of Isaac, of how Abraham went into the mountains to sacrifice Isaac. No, that was Hagar. When she got kicked out of that damn village and she went into the dry place and talked to them demons to fuck up that kid. And then Sarah had to get on her knees with her witchcraft and talk to her God. And God came back and said, don't sacrifice him. Because your hoe over there that you didn't have that child with, then through her spell work, It's above y'all pay grade with those Godspell teachings. So we're all fucked up behind these biracial children. And the hoe who's angry at the main one, you know, I'll be flipping these gospel verses, these scriptures. She stomped her ass up out that village and said, I'm gonna fuck this bitch up. Fuck this bitch. Let me get over here and do this spell work on Sarah and Isaac. I already fucked a man. I already have his seed, so I already got him. So the only thing I could do is turn his ass. So we've let a certain form of poverty step in and throw spell work, huh? And now we're under it. And now everything is an illusion. Riff-raffs have the audacity to tell you what to do. Most people in the government are broke back mountain. Trump is broke. They all broke. Crime and poverty go hand in hand. I was listening to the OJs. I said, damn, the OJs was giving us proverbs then. We didn't sat up, created destiny swapping all along. It's just backstabbing. So simple. These niggas out here backstabbing. For the love of money. And we not listening? We have the audacity to be listening on social media how dumbass black girls getting caught up in Dubai. You poverty ass bitches. You done fucked up the whole prostitution world. Now women can't even get they for real money behind you whole bitches. You the real hoe. You don't even make your money right. You rather go get shitted on to get your money. The women out here for real doing their business, what they do, they can't even get their money right. That's a whole other thing under the Jubilee. I'm just going down the list because I have questions. I was cracking up with his energies with these Somalians getting busted. They've been busted. What you talking about? They busted them a couple years back. This is nothing new. This is old news. But then I have a question. Who were these Somalians working for if they're Muslims? They were working for the Middle Easterns. They were working for these Hindus. They were working for somebody. And they was trafficking that money back and forth in the community and trafficking in somewhere else. It's in somebody's pockets. All these little energies that are being built. And with these Middle Easterns doing the same shit. Do you know what type of financial energy it is to have multiple wives? Be married to a main one. Have 5 more wives, but they're not really wives. They side chicks. And they go collect aid and get scholarships and all that shit. And y'all live? Somalians are doing it. The Middle Easterns are doing it. They're all doing it. They've been doing it. The Chinese do it too. Over here, shit. They be having whole houses. And one little Chinese man be ding-a-ling-a-linging with all them Chinese women. And they all get aid and welfare, food stamps and all that shit. They have y'all distracted with brothels. Nah, that's the energy. Cold game, cold takeover. Then I'm finding it suspicious that ever since Puff Daddy, or allegedly with the federal, because I don't even think that's him, that's a fake story. I'm going to get to that in a minute, because I don't believe that man is a black American. I think that nigga Somalian. I started doing a compare and contrast. I said, his show and his kid, wait a minute. Hey. And was that Kai? He looked Somalian too. Everybody telling on each other under the Jubilee. I'm trying to understand why in Georgia, why is your state representative a Muslim woman? And why is that Muslim woman running for governor in a black state, white state? What's happening here? Muslims, Middle Easterns are psyops. You got to watch them. They work for the government. They work for the FBI, CIA, all that. They are plants in neighborhoods, your local gas stations, stores. This include the Hindusans, them too. Government implants, government saturated. All of this 9/11, all that shit, all this, that's government. They go hand in hand, which includes the Somalians, which the government knows. They had those missionaries and motherfuckers go to those damn countries, get them people, do what they do, and bring them here. They know all of this. Allegedly. Right? When I was listening to this rabbi, he's saying everybody is a slave if you're not under us. They was talking about that shit happening in Australia, and the went to the Jews, and the Jews said, oh no, they killed the Zionists. Okay. They had the whole Vanity Fair energy going on. They fucked them Trump's administration up. Did y'all see those pictures? I was like, oh my God. Mark Rubio, his damn Turkish hairline. But who really would me, because you know I'm infatuated with Caroline Levitt, right? I have fucking questions. They did a close-up of her lip fillers. Her injected lips. How in the fuck do you have injected lips and your lips still look like an orangutan? Can somebody explain to me that? How in the fuck do you inject and your lips supposed to be plump, but your lips still look as thin as an ape, as a primate? I said, damn, she gets them, and I could tell by the injecting, she gets them done all the time. But her lips are still thin. It defeats the purpose. Did y'all see that Vanity Fair shit? It showed all them demons, right? You know, I'm petty, but I am so fucking serious. How the fuck is that? Talk about. They said that black people, we're the apes and the monkeys. But when I do a compare and contrast of the features, and then the skin, the pig skin, we don't have questions? $0.50. How long are we going to go on with these shenanigans with 50 cents? That documentary was so fake, not real. He's not even real. Is he still in jail? Is this why this is happening? Because we all know what he does. It's like the government has a hooks on his ass and he's the puppet. He over there in Louisiana cutting up. He's cutting up here. He's cutting up everywhere. Now he talking about Mano and shit like that. Then he went and busted out Marlon Wayans. Then I started thinking, is he pimping Marlon Wayans? Shit, was he pimping Puff Daddy? Because that girl he was with, what's her name? Cuban Link? We already know what was going on there, because he the way he would treat her, you can see pimping and pandering. I know pimping and pandering when I see it, allegedly. We don't even know if that's the real 50 cents because his face has been done. Allegedly. Yeah, we're going to tell you allegedly. You guys got involved in that culture. We don't care what's going on with no Puff Daddy. Because I'm still tripping if that nigga's Somalian. Matter of fact, I think he died years ago. I told you about the video. Did he really die in the 90s? Then on another thing, he looked like he had AIDS. That was in the early millennium. We don't know what the fuck we're looking at. All I know is that what they showing us, that shit not real. But we're all involved. We all know that New York dudes act like Skipper. And when I talk Skipper, I'm talking about Barbie Skipper. Because Barbie Skipper always look like a stud. Like a thug nigga. However, we all know that they skippers. And what I mean by skippers, we all know that they be with the get down with the gay shit. Everybody talk about it. If you notice, these new type of dudes, like bitch niggas, notice a lot of them are coming out of New York with all that gossip and shit. Gossiping, telling business. Gossiping like bitches. And it's doing a domino effect among men. Women, we might as well just hang it up and just be single out here. Because one, you have dudes out here getting on social media talking about women are jealous that they're married to another man. No, you're supposed to be married to another man because marriage is for men. It's not for women. That's the secret squirrel. Is a contract to control women. We just got somehow involved in it. But yeah, you're right. You should be glad you're married, because a man married another man, that is absolutely correct. Because in reality, women are not supposed to be prostitutes. Our bodies, our vaginas are not made to be prostitutes. Our assholes are not made for things to be sticking all up in it. Our throats are not made for all that dick to get down all up in it. It's for you men. You men have the assholes. You got the facilities to handle all that shit. And when you cut your dick off, you got a hole right there. All them dicks can hit it. Our bodies get tired. It can't do it. It's not what it's made for. We are not made to be whores. Women are not made to be whores. The Spirit told us in the Word, we are virtuous. We are great. When they talk about the whores, they're talking about the trans. In the Bible. That's who they're talking about. They're not talking about us. They're talking about the eunuchs. The concubines. Above y'all pay grade. We are the virtuous. Because we birth. The eunuchs and concubines are the whores. And always been whores. I'm not being rude. I'm just quoting it. It said it itself in the Bible. It said the eunuchs And the concubines, you're the whores. We are the virtuous women. We are virtue. But we got caught up in Esther and let you mount energies on us. Then we thought we were the concubines and the eunuchs and the whores. That's why we're in Dubai doing dumb shit. That's why we're laying on our backs and doing shit that our vaginas are not supposed to do. Right? Above your pay grade. You guys stuck under Ray J. That's a whole lie. I don't know where Ray J is. I don't know if he's Orlando Brown, because you know they're out here alleging Orlando Brown children, that Remy and them damn twins of Beyonce's. And then I started to get all tripping and looking at the features. I said, man, that little girl do act like Orlando Brown. You know, according to white people news saying Orlando Brown is the father of them damn twins. I said, white people news. We ain't seen the real Ray J for a minute. Talk about he been banned off of Twitch. Fuck Twitch. We don't even know what the fuck that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what type of governmental shit is Twitch, because it seemed like it's kind of no use for it. I don't know. But that whole energy with him and Princess. That shit was fake as fuck. Did y'all see that she was Snoop Dogg on social media? I don't like talking about Snoop Dogg too much because I don't know where I may bump into that man. But my son was somewhere at a gym, and his son was at the gym, and at the gym, his son said, "Hey, little homie, come on." So they end up in this boxing shit, and he bopped my son up real good. Snoop Dogg's son. I said, bopped him good. And I asked my son questions. He was like, "Yeah, Mom, you know Snoop Dogg was here, blah, 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 blah." I fought with his son. He bopped me all up in my face. I was like, and I said, "Well, what was your energy of him?" He was like, "He was cool, da da da." I said, "Okay, I'm not." But what is going on with Daz? The dog pound, how that happen? Did Snoop Dogg let the energies overtake him? There's something else underneath it. And then I could hear somebody in the background tell Snoop Dogg, "Don't put that on social media." I said, what's happening? See what I'm talking about? They out here talking about Tyra Banks, you know, in white people news. Tyra Banks is a man. She is. But I'm going to be real with y'all. Tyra Banks, on my father's side, is a cousin. She's a woman. But this new one is a man. The original was a woman. A lot of these people were original. Just like I said, well, Jay-Z is a woman. But the original was a man. And as for Beyonce, we better go back when she was a little girl, when she had them eyebrows like Raven Simone. Those eyebrows that swoop up like Michael Aquino. I said, is he their daddy? Is Michael Aquino them girls' daddy? Because when I see that eyebrow swoop, I know who they belong to. Just under the Jubilee. Aren't y'all tired of these these new type of neo-homo niggas that are hella bitch made women that will call the police on you now and lie on you. You didn't even do shit, but they'll call the police on you first, have you arrested to fuck up your whole energy, rob you of your house, tarnish your name. I'm seeing these new type of niggas out here doing that. Call the police on you, then call your whole family and shit and everybody and talk about you. Revenge, redemption, responsibility, huh? So the men are having revenge. They ain't giving you money. They ain't giving you shit. Fuck you, bitch. Even if I'm married to you, bitch, I ain't giving you shit. Unless you under me. And I ain't gonna give you shit. You go out there and get it yourself the best way you can. That's why them polyamorous relationships is a farce. They got them bitches out there working the system so them niggas can collect. These new bitch niggas, even the old niggas a bitch under the Jubilee. Right? Reiner? Woo, shit. That's going to be a cold Hollywood story, huh? Son killed him. Then you have this man that's a opera singer. His son killed him, Jubilant. You got Carl Carlton. He didn't die, the singer. You didn't have the nigga from General Hospital. He didn't die. And he gay as a motherfucker. I went back and looked at them pictures. I said, oh, we didn't know. I didn't look at General Hospital. I looked at the Guiding Light. I didn't have time for Channel 7. That's above y'all pay grade. And as we started to peep, these Hollywood people, old school Hollywood, they murdering the fuck out of them. You know damn well Rob Reiner's son didn't kill him. Allegedly. You know these people's sons are not killing them. And we don't even know how long he been dead. Just like, what's the dude from Pulp Fiction? They said they found him face down, beaten the fuck up, fucked up dead. They just murdering them. If they're not murdering them, they're changing them into some kind of aliens. Have you seen the Olsen twins? God damn. Then that Brandy, what's her name, Glanville? That's a whole monster. I was waiting for something to peel up out her face. I said, ooh, that's a crystal meth face, though. I've seen that face. That's crystal meth. Ain't no damn plastic surgery, bitch. But that's a monster. How do you know that the new drugs they're making is not turning people into shit? People want me to look at this show called Dairy. I think it's on Netflix, so I'm going to look at it. My son wants to look at it, too. These niggas out here look like monsters. Either you're a monster, or you're dead, or you a hoe. Then the hoeing can turn you into a monster. I'm not going to walk into the Jubilee anymore without saying, I don't believe Tamar is alive. I don't believe in one fucking bit. Allegedly. I've seen too many Tamars. You don't go from having surgery for a skinny ass nose into a wide nose. You telling me that's Tamar? That's why I can't fuck around with that Braxton shit. As we talk about no good niggas, did y'all see Married to a Medicine? I seen the clips of Simone going off. I said, even though I think this is a whole act, but she's on to something. But then her son is right, too. He is right. Black women, black people we tend, in some cases, to enforce our kids to work while they're in school. And white kids do get away, and also Asian kids. Asian kids for sure get taken care of while they're in school, but their parents look at them as an asset, as an investment. So maybe black people have to look at their children as an investment, but we got to be careful, because Married to Medicine may be on that political shit as financial aid. They're fucking around with financial aid. Notice they said an attorney, and they're messing with these Grant Plus loans and all that shit. So that was just political. That's just part of the political shit. But on the real, that young man he's on to something, and he is right. But then on the flip side of it, Simone, stop taking care of your husband. That's a black woman burnout. So when these niggas are running around here and talking about black women are gold digging, no, that right there, what Simone is going through, I've went through that. Just a burnout. She's married and going through a burnout. A single mom goes through a burnout. You up there telling women, get married, but when you got that right there, you stress. She's saying, I'm carrying the weight. Black women always carry the motherfucking weight. Always. So I understood, even though I feel it was an act, but then I understood the burnout. Gulf of Mexico, what's all them sharks going on in Louisiana? In cities, cheetahs or leopards are fucking showing up. I'm gonna say leopards. I don't know, shit. I can't tell them. Just cheetah, damn leopard. Cheetah leopard. What the fuck is going on with them? How come they arriving in neighborhoods and running around? What the fuck? Baltimore or Maryland, what the fuck is happening with cats? In California, where in the hell are these brown seagulls coming from? They're aggressive. I was at the beach one day and they were aggressive. I said, what are these? I was trying to feed the white seagulls, and they fought the white seagulls. They were like a beigey brown, and they were huge like an eagle. The fuck? Never seen those before. They were volatile. When I go back and I'm talking about the government and people and being rich, y'all better stop playing with these privatized jails. I've been wondering where those videos and cell phone videos are coming from of black men beating up other black men and bitching them out. And then I'm learning that these jails are not federally funded. They're privatized. For real. Excuse my ignorance, but I thought it was some federal energies in there. And I didn't know some of these privatized investors were suing the cities and state for not getting enough people to go to jail. I had a spiritual constituent that she was saying to me how they was putting all them people in jail in Atlanta, in women's jail. The fuck? For what? But they privatized for real. And we're not talking about this in the Jubilee. You don't see how fucked up that is? But I don't care if you don't agree with me, but I don't believe women should go to prison. I believe if a woman commits a severe crime, put her in an asylum, but not a prison. What other resources you could put her in? When the spiritual constituents kind of was advising me how a lot of the women, of course, be on their periods in jail. If in some countries, in Spain, allegedly, they want women to have a work day or work week off if they on their periods, then what the fuck goes on in prison? Do you know what type of spell work that is? See, men be in prison doing feces magic and all that bullshit and volatile. But women on their period, do you know that's a cold game, a cold piece of spell work, and a cold coven? Do you understand women in prison together can conquer the world? We have a different dynamic. Women are not in prison because they're just this horrid. They're in prison a lot of time behind a man or something a man has done or a surrounding. What is the mental state of a woman? That's why back then in psychology they used to study women and say that we have hysteria. Now you got motherfuckers sitting up there saying if you going to school for psychology, that's for that's for people in a cop out. You're being a cop out if you're going to school for psychology. You're getting a lot of these scientists and motherfuckers saying some weird shit like that, but your ass on ketamine and shit. Taking microdosaging. Crazy as fuck. No, you need psychologists because we need to study your ass. Because y'all crazy out here. That's why St. Quentin is going to turn into a psych ward, right? I was listening to, there was that actress, that Chinese actress, what's her name? Something Chu. And she was saying she was living in a fucking psych ward. I said, I knew all these damn actresses and actors were crazy. That's where they're getting them from. Psych wards in prison. Trauma-based energy, creativity. That's why they say people who are dealing in the world of spirituality or occultism, you're crazy. You're psychotic. You're crazy people see things you don't see. And they can turn into many things. They be knowing shit. You have to study people who have schizophrenia. What the fuck do y'all see? That's why they out here talking about that that asylum that was in what is it, in DC, right? Do y'all ever notice that men who have boys are jealous of their sons? And they tend to dog out their sons. You ever notice that? But their daughters, they have a little bit of a better energy towards. You ever notice that? They're always jealous of their sons. And then they'll start to do mean things to the mother because they're jealous that the mother of the son is not paying attention to their asses anymore. We always talk about the mother and daughter relationship, but we don't really talk about the male and son relationship, how a lot of men are jealous of their sons. It's above y'all pay grade. I was peeping some energies in San Francisco, and I was peeping the lion ass mayor of San Francisco. He was up there telling us that there's a war on crime, and he said fugitives. He said in this season that they have arrested 97 people who had warrants, and they were fugitives. Nigga, please, new mayor. November, I think starting from November, really at the end of October, you guys do warrant sweeps. Stop that lying. How I know? Because my kid's father always had a warrant. And when them cops came to the door looking for his ass, and I'm looking, they're like, well, he has a warrant. Can we come in and look around and see if he... We all know this. Stop that lying. San Francisco. What also is very interesting, and this is San Francisco business, I seen this case, right? And when I seen this case, I said, wait a minute, I thought he was in jail. Wait a minute. And I don't even know how, what's this? Let me see here if I can find it. Damn. But it's a case where, oh boy, it's a San Francisco one too. How come I can't find it? Damn. Anyway, as I'm looking for this, so in Stockton, California, there's this energy of this alleged massacre that supposedly happened and supposedly killed 4 people and injured many others. And it has something to do with, I don't know if these people are Vietnamese or Cambodian. So allegedly, somebody came, shot up a children's party, and the person that they was trying to get was supposed to be some kind of Crip rapper who's, I don't know, Cambodian or Vietnamese, one of them. And I'm like, okay, what is very interesting, they're only focused on this one kid. And it made like his father sent him off to this party as like a rites of passage. Then I became kind of suspicious. I said, what in the sacrifice and what's going on here? Once I seen Jason Lee have a press conference, then I have questions. Because I don't understand why Jason Lee, who's supposed to be an assistant mayor, will be having a whole press conference and he didn't sound like he had a bit of sense. What in the sacrifice is going on here? And you telling me, and we're going to say allegedly, was Jason Lee part of the setup of this whole party being shot up? And why wouldn't the people just come and get the Crip person? Why did you shoot up the whole party? And the story changes. And then they keep talking to the father. The mother is beside herself. The reason why I say Cambodia, because I can't tell what they are, because they don't look Filipino. They look either Cambodian or Vietnamese. So what in the sacrifice is going on here? And why is Jason Lee even the fucking assistant mayor? He has no education, no background, no political or political education or connection or community service. None of this. Where did this come? Who elected him? What spiritual constituents elected this man? But that's a weird case right there. That was a massacre, but that was also a sacrifice that happened in Stockton. But whatever it is, the person I'm talking about is a San Francisco guy. His last name is Epps. Okay, and he's like a community person. And I remember he did, I think, some kind of documentary and so on. And he had killed this guy named Marcus, and because it was some kind of home invasion or break-in or whatever. And so I thought he went to jail for that, but which was weird. But I think he was arrested back in 2016. They're saying just now they dropped all charges or he's not guilty. I said, this is 2025. What in a weird business? But what's weird about that case is that I know the people in the story. Because Marcus was friends with my kid's father. And Marcus was on drugs, like big time drugs. But then the weird thing is this. The person that the person that Epps killed, the guy Marcus, his baby mama is Abby. She's Pakistani. But Epps, I believe, was dating Abby's sister. So you killed her older sister's baby daddy. You see how, what the fuck? What's happening? Weird business, right? In California, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a Glock ban. Y'all better get your Glocks before 2027. Did y'all see that fight with Chris Sean up in Compton? First of all, that was crazy as fuck. And I don't blame the girl from Compton to slap the fuck out of Chris Sean, because that's assault and battery. You go grab my cell phone and do some shit. She slapped the fuck out the girl. Chris Sean stood there for a moment. They're saying that Chris Sean left or went in a car and came back. Then when Chris Sean came back, she was swinging like a whole nigga. Then I got suspicious and I said, what is this? This is an act? And is that Chris Sean? Is that a nigga? Because then I started looking at Blueface again. That's not Blueface, so I'm not going to play the game. That person who's pretending, so we're going to say Bluefish. Bluefish, which is Blueface. Bluefish was trying to say some shit. Ain't shit you can say. I'm trying to understand why she even showing up in Compton. How would she even know that was popping off? What in the acting skills is going on here? She slapped the fuck out Krishan, this person. Then Krishan comes back, but I was looking at the body, how it was shaped and how she was throwing them hits, and they would pow, 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 pow. I was like, God damn. And she was handling them all. And so anyway, I said, is that a man? Did they just exchange Krishan for a dude that looked, because if you notice, how come when all that fighting was going, you never got to see Krishan's face? When they pulled them apart, you didn't see Krishan. You didn't see nothing. It like cut off. You noticed that the bits that you seen with that fight, it cut off. See the illusion of social media? Apparently that show on Netflix with what's his name, Tyler Perry, they're going to cancel that show. What's it called? Something Beauty. Isn't it very interesting now? It's coming out now that they were using foster children to experiment with AIDS. So we can imagine with these new foster kids what they're going to do. I have a question. Memphis Bleak claims he wouldn't sell his catalog for $100 million. What catalog? La Roche, you know, the skincare brand, is doing something with La Roche. They desperate. We're just talking in a Jubilee. Did you hear about that fire that happened with the bamboo scaffolding in Hong Kong? That's an insurance policy. They sure try to kill the fuck out them people. That thing looked horrid. I know this is fake. Nancy Pelosi, Trump has no reason to be impeached third time if Democrats retake the House. What you mean third time? How many times have Trump been impeached, and how many times are they going to say former President Trump? The fuck? Gay women out here upset. They saying, how are they homophobic if they don't want to date a trans man, meaning a man that turned himself into a woman? Why are they lying about this case, that Texas, Louisiana case? let me see here, that Carmelo Anthony shit. Now they out here talking about that they're trying to push for the death penalty. How? They just allegedly arrested someone else in it. What's the lie? Oh, you know there's no more passport pros and passport bros and niggas coming over there to Colombia on that sex shit, because you got the Muslims over there that then took over Colombia and the Dominican Republic. White people shit. High school student accused of raping, strangling multiple girls after being denied sex. A lot of these white boys are doing that. My son was telling me they couldn't do a play because the boy had to be escorted out of school because of Me Too, because he was up there messing around with them girls and touching their body. And then my rude ass was like, well, what's the big deal? Guys been doing that. Then my son said, that's why we don't listen to you, because you guys been getting fucked up and wasn't saying shit. That's the sons I have. Texas Governor Greg Abbott claims that he will walk away from politics if Jasmine Crockett wins her Senate race in Texas. Praise the Lord, Jasmine will make Greg walk again. Well, I thought the same thing, because I said I thought he was in a wheelchair. Where he walking to? Selena, daddy then died. You know, the singer, the Mexican singer Selena. You know, that was full of cartel business with that shit. Federal authorities in 52-year search for New York drug kingpin Frank Matthews, who made an estimated $60 million and vanished before his trial. Check this out. That man been dead. Alexander O'Neal house, I guess, burnt the fuck down and almost killed his goddamn wife. The first thing popped in my head, I was like, was he smoking a crack pipe or a meth pipe? I don't know. We're going to say allegedly, because that seems suspicious. I'm just being real. I went back and looked at that energies with Left Eye, that accident. What the fuck really happened? If you look closely, she gave the canister back to the person next to her because something was in front of her. What the fuck was in front of her? What did she see? And how come none of the other people died and the three girls in the back did not have on this, and did not have on their seatbelt? Them little bitches know something. Because I want to know, what the fuck did Left Eye see? I don't care what they're telling us. What did she see? And who is this kid that's alleging he's her godson that looks like her? Was that her child? What's happening? I don't know. Right? Anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.